What's going on, everybody? It's Phil here, and welcome to my official Royal Rumble 2026 predictions video. We're going to be going over each and every single match that is currently scheduled for Royal Rumble 2026, who I think is going to win, why I think they're going to win, and ultimately where I think storylines can go from here as we head to WrestleMania 42. And not only am I going to be predicting the winners of the Rumbles, I'm also going to be predicting the Final Four, the Iron Man and Iron Woman, along with some NXT call-ups and some surprising returns. But before we get into everything, why don't you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you guys never miss another upload right here on the YouTube channel. And don't forget, we will be watching Royal Rumble 2026 live right here on the YouTube channel. So like I said, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. That way you get notified when that live goes live. But now that that's out of the way, let's get right to predicting Royal Rumble 2026. Let's kick things off with the Undisputed WWE Championship matchup as Drew McIntyre defends his title against Sami Zayn. Now, if you were going to tell me that Drew McIntyre would be walking into WrestleMania season as the Undisputed WWE Champion, I would have called you crazy. And we all know that he defeated Cody Rhodes in that 3 Stages of Hell match on Friday Night SmackDown to ultimately become the WWE Champion. And then we saw this past Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event in that Fatal 4-Way to determine #1 contender for Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn got that opportunity and got that job done. He defeated Damian Priest, Randy Orton, and Trick Williams to get that opportunity, and currently, as of this recording, he is 0-12 against Drew McIntyre. And to be completely honest, we are going to have Sami Zayn go 0-13. I just do not think that there is a single world where we see Drew McIntyre surprisingly win the Undisputed WWE Championship on an episode of Friday Night SmackDown to ultimately lose it to Sami Zayn in his first title defense, even though we are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which is obviously going to be very pro Sami Zayn. Don't get me wrong, we have had some surprises along the way. I mean, trust me, Drew McIntyre winning the Undisputed WWE Championship when he did was one of them, but I just do not see a world where Sami Zayn ultimately walks out as the Undisputed WWE Champion when it comes down to WrestleMania season, and especially with the Royal Rumble being in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I just think WWE is going to be utilizing the fact that we are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the fact that it will be such a pro Sami Zayn type crowd to ultimately get Drew McIntyre even more heat on this Undisputed WWE Championship run that he is on. And Sami Zayn will even have to wait just a bit longer just to get that first World Championship run that he is so desperately desiring. Now, let's say I'm right, and Sami Zayn does lose his championship match against Drew McIntyre, there's still a world where we can possibly see Sami Zayn in the Royal Rumble match himself. And the fact of the matter is, when it comes down to it, we have seen countless times where somebody may have lost earlier on in the night, but then appeared in the Royal Rumble and ultimately won the dang thing. And I'm not saying that Sami Zayn could definitely be a possibility to win the 2026 Royal Rumble, but there's definitely some kind of inkling that things can happen that way. So let's see if that actually shapes out. But in terms of an actual prediction for the Undisputed WWE title match between Drew and Sami, Drew McIntyre is going to retain his championship. Up next, let's talk about AJ Styles taking on Gunther, and if AJ Styles loses, he must retire. Now, as you guys know, I absolutely hate saying that, but regardless of however I may feel about AJ Styles possibly retiring from professional wrestling as a whole, the fact of the matter is I knew that this was going to be the next kind of path for Gunther as we continue on this quote-unquote legend killer type gimmick that he's got going on right now. Gunther has retired Bill Goldberg. Gunther has made John Cena tap out, and ultimately now he is setting his sights on having all of us say goodbye to AJ Styles far too soon than what we are honestly trying to anticipate. The story that WWE has been telling with Gunther has been plain and simple, and it's been to the point. The fact of the matter is, I am going to be retiring all of your favorites. I retired Bill Goldberg, I retired John Cena, and next is AJ Styles, whether you like it or whether you don't. All the heel heat that Gunther is generating right now is because of the fact that he has been retiring all of our favorites. And it doesn't matter if we want to say goodbye to AJ Styles or not. It doesn't matter if AJ Styles is ready to say goodbye to the WWE Universe or not. The fact of the matter is, Gunther is making us and making AJ Styles say goodbye because at the end of the day, that's just what he does. And I understand that a lot of people, including myself, wanted to see AJ Styles retire on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. I truly believed that we were going to be seeing a trilogy out of Gunther and AJ Styles, but the fact of the matter is, and the fact still remains, that is not going to be happening anymore. In fact, it probably never was, considering that we have gotten to see AJ Styles take on Shinsuke Nakamura at Saturday night's main event, and just this past Monday on Raw, we got to see AJ Styles taking on CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time ever, and that was a great match, even though it ended in not a great way, considering it was a non-finish. So that is where we stand right here, right now. Gunther is an absolute unbeatable monster, while AJ Styles is on the tail end of his career, and Gunther is going to be retiring. Another one of our favorites, absolutely a first ballot WWE Hall of Famer, and definitely a first ballot TNA Hall of Famer as well. Plus, you add on to the fact that he debuted at the 2016 Royal Rumble, and now he's going to be retiring at the 2026 Royal Rumble. Obviously, a full circle moment. That's exactly what WWE is going for. And at the end of the day, we are going to be seeing another one of our greats retire from the world of professional wrestling. Now, yes, he could possibly make a return home to TNA, where ultimately, now that TNA has that TV deal with AMC, they can definitely have him help them out a lot. But regardless, I think it would kind of be disingenuous if we see Gunther come up on the episode of Monday Night Raw after saying that he retired AJ Styles, and then just a few days after on Thursday, when it comes down to it, we see AJ Styles return to TNA. I think he is ultimately going to be done with the world of professional wrestling after this match with Gunther. So Gunther is going to win. He is going to retire AJ Styles, and that is going to be it for the Phenomenal One's career. This match is going to be fantastic, but Gunther is going to be picking up the victory, and AJ Styles is going to have a phenomenal end to his pro wrestling career. Now let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble match. Let's talk about three ladies that I do believe will be returning in the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match, and that is none other going to be Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton, and Paige. Bianca Belair is pretty much a lock to return in the Women's Royal Rumble match this year, mainly because of the fact that this finger injury has taken far too long in order to heal from, okay? We all know that WWE loves to do this thing where at the end of the day, they hold people off in terms of their return so that they can get that big Royal Rumble pop, and that is absolutely going to be happening when it comes down to Bianca Belair. When Bianca Belair ultimately does return in the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match, she is absolutely going to be a favorite no matter what, and no matter where she's ultimately going to be entering from in terms of whatever entry number she draws. At the end of the day, Bianca Belair is going to be a heavy favorite when she does return to the Women's Royal Rumble, and it's pretty much a definite at this point. Another one that I definitely see happening is going to be Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy Time will ultimately be returning into 2026 Women's Royal Rumble because we honestly have not seen Tiffy since last November when she lost the Women's Championship to Jade Cargill, as she is still the Women's Champion as of this recording. As of this recording, Jade still isn't even defended her championship yet, but that's not the point of all of this. The fact of the matter is, Tiffany Stratton will definitely make her return in the Rumble. And like I said, my third and final prediction for a return in the Women's Royal Rumble match this year is none other than Paige. We have seen a lot of speculation and some things circling around social media of Paige making her return to the WWE in this Women's Royal Rumble match. She has been training for some things when it comes down to a possible in-ring return, and when it comes down to it, what better way to return than to return in the Women's Royal Rumble match? And I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing pop when Paige does return to the WWE, regardless if it happens here or if it happens sometime down the line, but I do believe it will happen in the Rumble, so that's what I'm sticking with. Now let's talk to you guys about some NXT entrance slots or NXT call-ups when it comes down to the Women's Royal Rumble match this year. There were 5 that happened last year, and I truly do believe that we are ultimately going to be seeing at least 4, maybe 5 again this year, so let's get right down to that. First one I want to be talking about is none other than Tatum Paxley. I think Tatum Paxley's year in NXT so far, like this past year and honestly past year and a half, has been absolutely fantastic. The fact of the matter is she has improved tremendously, and I truly do believe that her time in NXT is about to be wrapping up, and wrapping up very, very soon. I truly do believe that Tatum Paxley is not only ready to be a part of the main roster, but she has been absolutely killing it as of late, and her being a part of the Women's Royal Rumble match this year would be absolutely fantastic. Another woman I want to be talking about is none other than Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe has to be on the main roster at this point. Now, Blake Monroe realistically didn't even need NXT to begin with, but I understand why they had her in NXT because she's done such a great job down there in NXT. And now the fact of the matter is she is absolutely ready to be called up to that main roster. And it would just be an amazing thing to see Blake Monroe on WWE programming on the main roster and in this Women's Royal Rumble match. So Blake Monroe has to get an entrant in this Women's Rumble match this year. Another one that we gotta be talking about is none other than the Evolve Women's Champion in Kendall Gray. I mean, Kendall Gray is absolutely fantastic. She has been blowing people's minds when it comes down to her in-ring ability, and at the end of the day, I feel like she can honestly just skip NXT altogether and just go straight to the main roster as the Evolve Women's Champion. She has been that damn good, and at the end of the day, she's going to be doing so much amazing things on the main roster when that time comes, but she definitely has to at least get an entrant within this Women's Royal Rumble match, and she honestly should possibly go really far in this. I truly do believe that WWE, if they put her in the Women's Rumble match this year, she would be a really good dark horse to possibly do the dang thing. I mean, she wouldn't win it, obviously, because she is so young in her career, and she doesn't need that just yet, but she would definitely be a dark horse for at least people to keep their eye on. So Kendall Gray definitely has to get a pick here. Sol Ruca should get a mention here as well, mainly because we have already seen Sol Ruca kind of get acclimated to the main roster at this point. When she was a part of John Cena's last match on Saturday night's main event, she wasn't actually a part of the match, but you know that she got that match against Bayley, and you know, she has been doing some amazing work ever since kind of getting that kind of inkling on the main roster with Zarya. So Sol Ruca being a part of the Women's Royal Rumble match just seems like a very easy choice. And then my fifth and final person is definitely somebody like an Izzy Dame, not only because of the Tatum Paxley factor, so you kind of see where I was going there with that, but when it comes down to it, Izzy Dame should absolutely be a part of the women's roster for the main roster some point within at least the next 6 months, at least. She has been so good as of late, and at the end of the day, she has truly impressed me over the course of the last few months, just simply due to the fact that she has just got it all. She's got the storytelling, she's got the facial expressions, she's got everything that you can possibly ever want to see out of somebody that is a heel in the women's division. She can absolutely thrive on that main roster, and I know she is the NXT North American Champion right now, but I'm telling you, whoever does defeat Izzy Dame, get her up to the main roster as soon as that championship is off of her immediately, because she's ready. Now, when it comes down to picking an Iron Woman for the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match, I really kind of only thought of one person, and that one person is none other than Raquel Rodriguez. We all know the kind of trajectory that Raquel Rodriguez has been on over the course of the last few months, and regardless of however you may feel about Raquel Rodriguez, her being that kind of person to have the longest time within the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match would absolutely solidify her and cement her as a huge threat within the women's division. She got a street fight coming up this coming Monday against Stephanie Vaquer for that Women's World Championship. And what better way to have her be a legit threat to Stephanie Vaquer and that Women's World Championship than to have her be the Iron Woman of the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match. I think that would be absolutely fantastic for her, and she is absolutely ready to get that kind of accolade. But now it's time to predict my Final Four, and my Final Four was pretty easy to predict when it comes down to it. It's either going to be Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. And my winner of the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble is none other going to be than Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has to win the 2026 Women's Rumble this year. The fact of the matter is, out of the last 3 Women's Royal Rumbles that we have had, Liv Morgan has been the runner-up 2 out of the last 3 times. So the fact of the matter is, she needs to get over that hump, and what better way to get over that hump and to have her continue the momentum that she has been on ever since her return when she came back during John Cena's match against Dominic Mysterio and Survivor Series, than to have her win the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match. And not only does her winning the Women's Royal Rumble match just keep her momentum even higher, but the fact of the matter is, that would honestly change a lot when it comes down to the potential storylines that WWE can tell when it comes down to building towards WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. So, of course, I'm going to go with Liv Morgan winning the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match. But now it's time to predict the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match. Now it's time to predict two returns that I have within the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match, and the first one that I want to be talking about is none other than LA Knight. Yeah, the fact of the matter is he's definitely going to be returning. I mean, we have not seen LA Knight in quite some time when it comes down to his absence within the WWE. The man got taken out by all members of the Vision, and the fact of the matter is he is going to be wanting to come after all of the members of the Vision, or at least whoever is going to be a part of the match when he ultimately makes his return to the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match. He possibly is even going to be eliminating some of the members of the Vision when he does get in there. But trust me, LA Knight will be returning in the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. And the second one that I got for my returns in the Men's Royal Rumble match is none other than Chad Gable, simply because it is time. Not only is it because it is time, but because of everything that we have seen on him for social media as of late. The man is absolutely jacked, and he definitely should be ready to come back to the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. And who knows, maybe we even have some kind of sort of interaction between him and El Grande Americano. That could be something kind of fun, and honestly, that could be kind of a cheeky little poke of what kind of happened at the past year or so. So, regardless, Chad Gable definitely is going to be coming back in the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. I want to talk to you guys about some debuts when it comes down to the Men's Royal Rumble match this year, and I want to talk to you guys about something that is, it's kind of a return, but also kind of a re-debut himself as well, and that is none other than Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, to me, is absolutely going to be returning in the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match and ultimately making his re-debut within the WWE. We have not seen Chris Jericho in God knows how long when it comes down to the WWE, and him coming back to the WWE, ultimately getting a retirement tour of his own right. Obviously, not to the same extent as a John Cena retirement tour, but him having his final run within the WWE is absolutely going to be happening, and I do believe that he will make a return/debut within the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. And the true debut that I truly do believe is going to be happening in the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match this year is none other than Powerhouse Hobbs, aka Royce Keys. We all know that he's coming to the WWE, and what better way to have him debut within the WWE landscape and honestly on the main roster right away than none other having him be a part of the Men's Royal Rumble match himself. The fact of the matter is, yeah, sure, he may be new. Yeah, sure, he may be kind of getting himself acclimated to a new audience right away, especially with him debuting in Saudi Arabia. But when it comes down to it, Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, I should say now, I gotta call him that now so I can actually kind of get acclimated to that name, but he is going to be absolutely fantastic when he makes his debut on the main roster. Have him be an absolute powerhouse in that Royal Rumble, and he will get himself over, no ifs, ands, buts about it. Now, believe it or not, in terms of NXT entrants or NXT call-ups in the Men's Royal Rumble match last year in 2025, we got none of them. So I do believe that this time around we actually are going to be getting them, and I'm at least going to be predicting 4 within this match now. So here they are. Now the first one I get that doesn't really count considering that Ouimette already said that he is going to be a part of the Men's Royal Rumble match this year, and that is none other than Ouimette. He is going to be an absolute monster in this thing, and there are going to have to be some strategic and creative ways to either get him eliminated or to just honestly make sure that he looks strong in his elimination, because I do not see a world where he ultimately does win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match, but he definitely has to go far, and he definitely has to be looking strong coming out of his elimination when it comes down to him being eliminated in the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. He is going to be an absolute monster, and I cannot wait to see him in this match. This one, I guess, technically does not count either because we kind of saw him last year, and that is none other than Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is absolutely going to be a part of this Men's Royal Rumble match himself as well, mainly because we've kind of already seen that before. The crowd is going to be absolutely going nuts when it comes down to hearing Joe Hendry's theme. They're going to be waving their hands from side to side. They're going to be doing the whole entire thing, right? At the end of the day, Joe Hendry being in the Men's Royal Rumble match this year just makes sense. Now, an actual entrant when it comes down to NXT and even possibly a call-up to the main roster at this point is none other than Ethan Page. Ethan Page should absolutely be a part of the main roster already. He is one half of the Mixed Tag Team Champions over in AAA with Chelsea Green, and he definitely should have a spot within the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. And the final pick that I'm ultimately going to be predicting is none other than TNA superstar Leon Slater. He's absolutely going to be a part of the Men's Royal Rumble match this year. Not only is he going to be a fun guy to have to be a part of the Men's Royal Rumble match this year, but WWE is absolutely going to be wanting to take a look at him and have them be a part of the WWE side when it is all said and done, when his contract does expire with TNA. And who knows, maybe they do poach him away from TNA as well, but regardless, he is absolutely going to be a part of the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match this year. My Iron Man this year is not flashy. My Iron Man this year is not sexy. It's none other than the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. This man, Cody Rhodes, is going to be going the distance in this Men's Royal Rumble match this year. They are definitely going to be teasing so much when it comes down to him winning his third Royal Rumble match. It's not even funny. He is definitely going to be a part, at least in contention, for the Iron Man this year. I'm picking him to be the Iron Man for the 2026 Rumble, but he is at least going to be in contention for that accolade. My final four for the 2026 Rumble this year is none other than Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, and Sami Zayn. These four, you can honestly pick either one of them, and I'd be perfectly fine with them winning the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match this year. The fact of the matter is, we also see somebody like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns within that same Final Four. That's absolutely extremely interesting. Braun Breaker being a part of the Final Four is interesting enough as it is, because Division wants to see Braun Breaker go all the way to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match, because that is their ultimate goal when it came down to them setting that goal on this past episode of Raw. And Sami Zayn, like I said, even though he did lose in the earlier match on the night when it comes down to the WWE Championship, him being a part of that Final Four to get to WrestleMania to fight Drew once again is definitely there. It's at least a possibility. So that right there are my Final Four. And the winner out of this four for the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble is none other going to be somebody like Roman Reigns. I truly do believe that WWE is going to be giving Roman Reigns the winner of the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match kind of accolade, mainly because of everything that they could possibly be doing with Roman Reigns heading into WrestleMania this year. Now, we all know that when it comes down to it, the current World Heavyweight Champion is none other than CM Punk. And we all know the history that those two have with each other. Not only that, but we also know that Roman Reigns called the World Heavyweight Championship the Losers Championship last year, and it probably was not a good idea for WWE to have him call that championship that kind of name. Essentially, there's absolutely a story that you can tell between Roman Reigns and CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. That match is absolutely noteworthy to have be a part of a night one or a night two main event for WrestleMania, whatever way you want to put it. Not only because of the history that these two men have with each other, but the fact of the matter is WWE is not done having Roman Reigns be a part of the marquee matches, not done having his name up in lights, not done having him be a part of WrestleMania main events. The fact of the matter is, Roman Reigns is still a huge priority for the WWE, even though he might be even on the latter portions of his career when it comes down to him being a part of major Hollywood productions. So Roman Reigns being the winner of the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match this year definitely, to me, makes sense when it comes down to that side of things, and we'll see in due time if that happens. But the person that I want to see win the Rumble this year is none other than Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker winning the Rumble would absolutely be fantastic, but my overall prediction is none other than Roman Reigns. But those are my predictions. Now I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I want to know your predictions for the Royal Rumble matches down in the comment section below. What do you guys think about AJ Styles? Do you believe that AJ Styles is truly done with the WWE or done with professional wrestling as a whole once this match with Gunther takes place? Let me know all your thoughts about the Royal Rumble PLE down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you guys get notified whenever I upload a new video. And don't forget, we will be live right here on YouTube watching Royal Rumble 2026 live and in living colors. If you guys want to come by, chat it up, say hi, watch the Royal Rumble along with me, you guys are definitely welcome to do so. But guys, that is it for me. Have a good one, stay safe, God bless, and enjoy your Royal Rumble week.